Real Country 1430 AM and 1073 FM WRDN. I'm Brian Winnikins. This is the WRDN Morning Farm Report. Joining us this morning, Arnie Jennerman, and he is a general manager of Wisconsin Farm Technology Days. And we are going to talk about the upcoming Farm Technology Days as well for 2023. It's going to be held in Baraboo, July 18th through the 20th at the Badger Steam and Gas Engine Club grounds. Thank you to Alcivia Co-op, Compeer Financial, Osteoplastics, Annabis Silo, the Animal Wellness Center of Buffalo Valley, and Synergy Co-op, our newsmaker sponsors. And Arnie, thank you for joining us today. Well, this is going to be a little bit different than in years past, as we're going to be on the grounds are set up for the steam engine and the gas club program. So we're going to have a lot of infrastructure there, right?
Well, by the way, thanks. Good morning, Brian, and thank you for having me on. And yes, the grounds have been there for a number of years. They've really done a lot to develop them and keep making additions. And so we think it's really a great setup for the show. Slightly different configuration, a little more longer and narrower, but we're going to be running trams around the ground. So I think, actually think people will be, I think it'll really work out well as far as access, because there isn't a great distance across to get to a tram site and move to the other end of the ground. So I think it's really going to be a nice setup. They've had very successful, their shows, they have an annual show there and some other events, and they've had some great success with that over the years. So we think it should be a great site.
And Arnie, there's also going to be one of the things that's always kind of part of Farm Tech Days, but this is going to be even a little bit more expanded, is farm tours. And tell us, there's going to be 6 different tours. Tell us how that's going to work.
Well, we have 6 tours, and we're still working on some of the the routing and the sites we're going to be visiting. But planning 6 tours, about half the tickets will be for sale in advance, and the other half will be for sale on the grounds. And there really is a lot of interesting opportunities for ag and other businesses in that area. So we really want to make sure participants in the show get an opportunity to see what the area has to offer. So we think that will be really an interesting part of the show. The tours are always a really high point of the show, and we think we've got a lot in store in 23 in Baraboo.
Talking with Arnie Jennerman. He is general manager for Wisconsin Farm Technology Days, and Farm Technology Days 2023, July 18th through the 20th at the Badger Steam and Gas Engine Club grounds in Baraboo. This year's Innovation Square, every year it's kind of a little bit different, but what's the theme for Innovation Square for 2023?
Well, the tagline is going to be diversity and synergy. We're really featuring a lot of education. Madison College is really going to be heavily involved to highlight careers in agriculture and in vocational areas. They really have a great program up there. But we're also looking at featuring some of the ag and cultural features of that area. It has a rich history at Baraboo, Dell's central part of the state there. And so we really want to feature that at Innovation Square, as well as, again, the educational opportunities. The other thing I think that's really going to be noteworthy of this show is we're going to have, instead of having food tents as we have historically, we're going to have food trucks. And it gives us the opportunity to do a taste of Wisconsin. So we're looking at featuring foods characteristic of the state, various areas within the state. So we think that's going to be a great attraction and an add-on, basically, in terms of generating a lot of interest. So we're excited about that, as well as what will be available at Innovation Square. I think the other thing that's always a big feature of our show is bringing the youth to the show and showing them what the opportunities are in agriculture. And so we have a very interesting ag adventure feature planned for the show, where young people will be able to see various attractions at the show and basically fill out a passport and receive an award at the end of their visit to the show for hitting certain touch points on the ground. And we hope that that'll be really well received. We think that'll be really interesting, and I think we'll get the opportunity there to show young folks, young people, some of the opportunities in agriculture and ag-related industries that they maybe hadn't considered in the past. And that's really a big part of what we try to do at the show each year.
Talking with Arnie Jennerman. He's general manager for Wisconsin Farm Technology Days. Again, Farm Tech Days 2023, July 18th through the 20th at the Badger Steam and Gas Engine Club grounds in Baraboo. Sauk County, Arnie, is pretty big in equine horses, and that's going to be featured at this year's show. Tell us about that.
Yes, it is. And we have some very enthusiastic volunteers putting together the program for equine. And as you said, equine is a big industry, recreationally and otherwise, in Sauk County. And so we have we probably have more events than we'll have time to feature them at the show. So we're going through that some of those opportunities right now. But we think it'll be both entertaining, and there's also an educational element, of course, in the equine, always at our equine events. And of course, we're thankful for Farm and Fleet, or Fleet Farm, for helping sponsor that. And we think the equine, it always draws a lot of interest from attendees at the show. I heard a statistic recently that there's more horses in Wisconsin than there ever was historically, if you can believe that. More horses than when we actually farmed with horses. So it's always a huge feature of our show.
And if folks want to find out more information, even companies maybe want to be a part of it, or the farmers and those that want to attend, they can find out more. They can just visit the Farm Tech Days website.
Yes, and by the way, the registration for exhibitors is open, has been for returning exhibitors for some time, and we're really enthusiastic. We've seen we're a little ahead of what we typically see at this time in terms of exhibitors signing up, so we're really excited about that. And general, it's now open for all exhibitors to sign up and get booth space. So we encourage them to come to the website and find spots on the grounds that will meet their needs. But we really are pretty excited about the reception we're getting so far from exhibitors. It's always a nice when we move around the state. We've been up in the northwest part for the last couple of years, but you get a lot of local exhibitors who don't necessarily travel to the shows every place they go, but we really like to feature them. So it's one of the features of us moving around the state with the show. We're also really excited about the volunteers that are coming forward to help us. Of course, we can always use more, but we've got a lot of volunteers that are committed to helping put the show on. And so we think it'll be a great show. We're really excited about it. I think it has a lot of potential in terms of the site, the other attractions in the area. I think it'll be a great show. The folks at the Badger Steam and Gas Engine Club are really excited about showing what they have to offer there. They always have their show in August, but they're going to pull out the stops to feature some of their equipment and some of their operating exhibits. And they'll be helping us with pulling the trams with their heritage tractors. And so it's really exciting. It's exciting to see the history and the technology coming together in a show like this. In agriculture, we always need to keep moving forward and utilizing new technology, but there's a lot of respect for the heritage and where we came from. And so it's really nice seeing that blending of the old and the new at these shows. And I think it's really a great feature. Be a great feature of this show.
That's Arnie Jennerman. He is the general manager, Wisconsin Farm Technology Days. And Wisconsin Farm Technology Days 2023 will be July 18th through the 20th at the Badger Steam and Gas Engine Club grounds in Baraboo in Sauk County. And just visit the Wisconsin Farm Technology Days website for more information on that. You're listening to the WRDN Morning Farm Report.